What's up, beautiful people? Today is a good day to have a good day, and welcome to the very first episode of the Colored Effect podcast. On this episode, we are going to talk about mental health, but on this podcast in general, we talk about underrated topics like the education system, enlightening and informing the Black community on certain things, and also shining Black positivity, of course. And also, we talk about government, mental health, emotional and physical health, and things of that nature. And today I am here with my very special guest, Kiera.
Hello.
So introduce yourself and, just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Okay, my name is Kiera. I am currently at Mount Mary University studying occupational therapy. And I'm 23 years young. I have a lot of information to give to any and everybody. I'm a free spirit, and I hope you all learn something from me.
Period. I love that introduction.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you did better than me.
I like your introduction.
Okay, so today we are talking about mental health in our 20s. I feel like the 20s is the most complicated time of our life because, you decide about maybe starting a business and becoming a millionaire in your 30s, or, going to college and just, doing a regular thing, getting married, having kids, or some people, don't want kids. Some people are pressured into having kids because that's the American standard, is to have kids in your 20s and be married and live happily ever after.
Never settle.
Never, ever, y'all.
Never settle.
Men or women, don't ever settle.
Never settle.
So, what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health?
Mental health, that's literally like how you taking care of your mental, what you putting in your brain, the type of energy you feed it, what you be around, stuff like that. If it's too crowded, I don't.
Okay, you look good.
Mental, brain, mindset.
So, what does it mean to have a good mental health? Do you think it's happiness, success, or what does that mean to you?
I think it depends on the person, but me personally, it just means making sure I'm good. I'm not going to have a panic attack within the next 3 minutes or something like that. Just making sure I'm straight mentally, not thinking too much about this, not worrying too much about that.
Period. Okay. So I want to take it back all the way to our teenage years. Let's talk 16 through 19, right?
Okay.
So I feel like maturing is realizing 18 years old is not adult age at all.
No.
At all. I feel like at 21, you're still kind of a kid in a way. You know what I'm saying? 23, 24, 25, okay, you grown.
I still feel like a kid.
Yeah, me too. I swear, I'm not 16 no more.
No, seriously.
Okay, so at the ages of, 17, 18, it's we got to make these hard decisions of graduating. What you going to do? Go to college? You want to just work a 9 to 5 until you save your money, build a business? Mm-hmm. How do you want to go about it? I feel like we are pressured so much.
Yes.
And that our mental health is not checked on when it comes to are you okay? Are you sure this is what you want to do in life? It's just okay, you pressure to go to college, be some grade, and this is what you're finna do for the rest of your life. Find a woman, have 2-3 kids with her, and marry her. So how do you feel? I feel like we still young and dumb, and that's why a lot of relationships in this generation not working out. Because they don't realize we still gotta learn ourselves. I can't jump from one person to another, and I'm still hurting the inside about something. And a lot of people be traumatized from their childhood and carry that on for so long. Okay, let me not get off topic.
No, you good. Go ahead. Take it there.
So my question was, how was it for you to make your executive decision to go to school and pick your major and be okay, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, it was a little bit of a process because I started school fresh out of high school, and that's what my mom and my school wanted for me. But I took a little break because I was not ready. It's a mental drain, it's a financial drain, and people don't really tell you about that. Not to mention, it's a step up. It's not like high school where you get to procrastinate and do things at the last minute. You have to be on your stuff. So it was that, but then I left and I was like, I wasn't ready. And then before my grandpa passed, he told me, he was like, your life is so precious. He said, don't let one dumb mistake cost you everything. And then he passed from many different illnesses, cancer, diabetes, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But I saw people taking care of him and making him feel try to get him better. And I was like, that's my profession. That's what I chose occupational therapy for.
Period. Okay. So I've been hearing this a lot lately. even people in college saying, depending on what you go to school for, college is a scam. How do you feel about that?
College is definitely a scam. I ain't gonna cap. I'm not gonna sit here.
Okay, so y'all heard it from a person in college. Y'all heard it.
It is a scam. I feel like, I could have went to the library and read plenty of books off of this, or I could have went and paid for like $50 for certifications, but I'm paying at least 3 G's just for somebody else to stand up here and talk to me, and they probably have their own interpretation of what they're teaching me, versus when I go into the field and then it's like, oh my gosh, this is nothing like what they just taught me. Then it's, oh my gosh, like, no. College is a scam, yes.
I did want to go back a little bit because I forgot a question. Do you think that college... Oh, another thing. Maturing is realizing, bro. School is a daycare until you're 18, especially in this day and age where teachers are dropping like flies.
Yes.
School is daycare for these parents. Like, long as their kids in school and they can go to work to pay their bills, they don't care. Do you think school really mentally and emotionally and financially prepares you for college? Because when I think about school, I'm like, we learned about Christopher Columbus and all this. We learned about credit. Nothing. We ain't learned about credit. Like, now that you think about it, like, I would say kind of public school is kind of like a low-key set up for failure in my eyes. So what you think?
I think public school is definitely set up for failure, because private schools, they train you more for ACT and SAT and all of that. Versus public school, they just do like, okay, we're just going to make sure you know your math and make sure you know your science. No, public schools, they just like, okay, this is this, and 1, 2, 3, this is this step, this is that step. Private schools, they sit you down, they make sure you have a tutor. They lunch is even better. Like, you get
literally.
I feel like that's where it comes in with the ACT scores when you come from a public school versus when you come from a private school, because private schools care more. And you're paying for your education and stuff like that.
Yeah, because to be honest, like, nobody want to admit it, but you got to pay your way. Like, that's why people pay thousands of dollars for their kids to go to these certain schools, because they want them to learn certain things to prepare themselves for the real world. Like, I'm going to tell y'all the difference. When I went to my first 2 years of high school, I went to a suburban school, Waukesha North. Last 2 years of high school, I went to a public school, Milwaukee Marshall. When I... No, for real. When I tell you the first 2 years, like being a freshman and a sophomore, I'm like, okay, I got to be on my stuff. I'm studying. You know what I'm saying? Like, after work, I got to get in these books because, I'm going to have a quiz every other day.
Right.
When I went to Marshall, we do it. Copy and paste.
Oh my, no, serious.
Yes, copy and paste. Quizlet. And then it's so easy to cheat because you do it on the computer. And yeah, we had Chromebooks. When I went to the suburban school, we had iPads and MacBooks. So, it's like a total different experience. And then when I went to the suburban school, you probably can only count 10 colored people in your hand.
Right.
But when you go to the NPS school, you probably can only count about 10 white people in your hand. So it's like, I just feel like the public school is just like not taken serious. Like,
I mean, why is it public versus private anyways? When they all merge together, the children are the future. Come on now.
But then again, they want to set up the black people to fail and be nothing.
That's
again
America for you.
Yes, that's America for you. So, what is some advice you could give someone in their teens struggling to decide if they should start a business or go to school or maybe settle down and get married if they don't, really know what they want to do, but they pressured?
Okay. Sit down, take a deep breath, go at your own pace. When you're starting a business, it's a lot of steps that you have to take. I feel like it's more than some people, they want the LLC and stuff like that so it can be certified. But like, if you start slow. Don't put too much on your plate. Don't stress yourself. Anything with marriage, don't get married until you at least past 25, I say, because you in your 20s, this is your young, dumb, and fun ages.
Yes.
I feel like this is the time to party, and you still a baby, so you're going to be a baby raising a baby, and then you're going to be irritated. Like, I know a lot of people who have children, and they had them probably in high school, no shade to nobody, but like, they don't look happy with their lives, and it shows. It's a drain on them, and they be like, ugh, like, they be so irritated. They can't go out and party because they got to find a babysitter, and nobody wants to babysit their kids and stuff like that, and I just feel like, just go at your own pace. It's your life, not everybody else's.
Yeah, and in your 20s, you still learning yourself. Like, you don't even know what you like yet. Then you get with somebody, you might not be feeling them. Then they want to marry you. You like, I don't want to be with this person for the rest of my life. And a lot of people do that, like just marry because to make the other person happy, and that's how infidelity happen and all that type of stuff.
Make sure you happy.
Okay, random question for you.
Okay.
A genie comes down and says, I got 3 ways for you to get a career. Pick which path you want and I'll do it for you. A, you fly through school within a year, whatever career you want, with as an A+ student. You get your dream job, but it doesn't pay that well. Or B, you do 3 years of schooling with all right grades, a career that pays 6 figures, but you hate the job. Or C, you do 7 years of schooling, double the hard work and double the amount of work, but it makes you 6 figures and the job brings you peace.
I will take the last option for
Period.
sure.
Okay.
Hard work and dedication pays off. We was literally just talking about this.
Okay.
Like, oh my gosh. I'm currently in school now, and I know in the long run, the longer I stay in school, the longer it's going to build up my resume. It's going to build up my knowledge on whatever I want to go into and what I'm pursuing. And I feel like that money is going to be money in, and I'm going to be well taken care of. But money don't buy happiness. So I don't know. But
how you feel about the people who work and don't like their job? Like, they making good money, but they miserable.
I don't, you're miserable. Like, you're not happy deep down. You're just doing it just for the next check. Like, no, sit down and make sure you set aside some time for you so you can actually, that's how you experience burnout when you work in a job. That's why I don't work where I used to work no more. Because the burnout takes place, and it's like you only get a couple of days where you can just sit down and de-stress, or maybe one day. But that's not the life for anybody. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, because no.
Oh, and for my teenage and young adults who love the fast money and be hustling and love to work these 12-hour shifts, remember, always give yourself a break though. Yes. You never want to work until you burn out. Remember, these jobs do not care about you. It's a million people hiring, and once you say, oh, I need a break, or I don't want to work here no more, they will say adios amigo and hire the next person.
Literally.
So make sure y'all always give yourself a break and, take your time.
And find a job that shows you appreciation in any way or form.
Yes.
Don't go where you're underappreciated.
Yes. If they have you working there 5-6 years with no raise, you need to keep
Goodbye.
You need to keep it pushing.
I at least give myself a 2-year minimum at a job before I just
Yeah, for real. You try to work it out a little bit, but if they show they don't care, I'm cool. Because it's somebody else that give me that $2 or $3 that I want more. So, okay, let's talk about these social media standards, about how, social media can mess with your mental health. It can make you feel like, you got to live a certain way or look a certain way to look beautiful. You got some of your favorite influencers say, oh, you got to have, a BBL, or you got to always have on makeup, or, or you got to be light-skinned, that type of stuff. So, first of all, let's talk about how much social media do you think you should be looking at a day?
I would say no more than an hour and 30 minutes. Don't spend too much time on social media. That's going to drain you, literally. And that's just, I think you're putting too much energy into social media. Because now you're looking at everybody else's stuff and you're trying to compare, and we don't compare. No, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You moving at your own pace. Because you don't know what they're going through that got them in that position. So just appreciate the life that you got, whether it's good or bad.
Period.
Yeah.
So y'all know social media is a competition. But everybody front and put on, something they not. Nobody gonna show the good. Yeah, they gonna show that they just bought a brand new Benz, but they're not gonna show the part if it get towed. So, according to study, social media does bring depression and low self-esteem, especially for women. Yes. So, how do you feel like women can deal with negativity and get caught up in the comments? How do you deal with not paying attention or not caring about that?
Well, I deactivate social media. Okay. I really don't care. People gonna talk about you your whole life, whether it's good or bad. Period. So I mean, if you talking about me, I'm doing something right.
Period.
Either you love me or hate me. So
if they in your business, they in your business for a reason. So always remember that. Do you think social media breaks are necessary?
Yes. I love taking social media breaks.
Okay, and why?
Because I feel like after a while, it's okay, what's the point of all of this? I'm scrolling all of this stuff And the whole time I'm scrolling, I could have been starting up something for my business. Now you're wasting time on looking at the next person and what they got going on rather than investing into yourself and focusing on what you got going on.
And it's cool to have like, oh, your favorite Instagram, or I like how she dressed, or I like how she do her hair. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But y'all just be so into it where it's like you gotta be that person. Like you gotta remember, this person probably have $1 million in their account and you have $150. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to look like somebody else. Move at your own pace. Be yourself.
Always be yourself.
Always be yourself. Don't look at the next person and try to compare yourself. Yes, you can get caught up in social media, especially like being an influencer. They always, those black tea pages be comparing each other, like who did it best or who did it first type shit. I mean, I'm trying to keep it PG, y'all. So
set your own trend, basically.
Yeah, set your own trend. Be your own person, because once you set your own trend, what the rest of the people gonna do? Come follow. Do you think social media can be addicting?
Yes.
Okay.
TikTok.
Have you ever been? Oh my God! I swear to God. Yes.
How much time do you spend on TikTok?
Speaking of TikTok, bro, I swear. One night I was on there at like 9 and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be in there for a little bit to go to bed. I look at the time. It was 1 a.m. I was like, bro, I've been on here and I wasn't tired or nothing. I'm like, TikTok will really have you like in a trance.
I feel like I think social media is a trap in all things. That's why I deactivated a lot of my social pages and platforms, because it's a trap. I'm spending all of this time on here, and then it's like, oh, I could have been asleep. Now I'm up and I'm tired. I can't function properly. But the videos on Instagram, I ain't gonna lie, they be funny as hell. But
the comments be more funny than
I'll be here for the comments, especially on TikTok. They be wildin'.
Yes.
But even in the name, TikTok, there's time ticking away. So yeah, social media is definitely addictive, but you gotta at least try to set a timer or something when it's time to get off.
Do you think social media can make you suicidal?
Yes, in a way.
Because cyberbullying and stuff like that?
The cyberbullying, and I don't know. Okay, my thoughts on entertainment, the word enter. It's a portal, which you're allowing to come into your mind. So what you seeing, and then you get to comparing, and you're like, oh, I don't have this, and oh, I wish I looked like this, and now I look like that, and stuff like that. Now you're really miserable because you done sat here basing your life on everybody else and what they got going on, and now you feel like you're not good enough for this, you're not good enough for that. But just be mindful that, it's your life, so you don't have to go off of that. But yes, it could definitely make you suicidal in a way. Heavy on the cyberbullying, because people are rude.
And like, I feel like nowadays it's like more, like, get you more views when you be more negative than positive.
Yes.
Like, people always say like, oh, people do gifts to the homeless for clout, but I'd rather see people give to the homeless than a person fighting, or, you know what I'm saying, doing something.
Seriously. And all these abandoned buildings and houses should be turned into homeless shelters. Like,
seriously. No, for real. So, let's talk about trauma. What comes to your mind when you hear that word? And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be 100% transparent on this podcast. People throw that word around too loosely nowadays. And, don't take it seriously. Like, it could be a little video on YouTube and they're like, oh my God, that's traumatizing. Like,
right.
Come on now.
It's different types of trauma. Like, you got childhood trauma and things like that. But I think childhood trauma is the most important factor that shapes how people are when they grow up to be adults. Like, you could, depending on what you grew up seeing in the household, where did you see domestic violence a lot, and now you're, trying to avoid that, or you're going to fall into that. And I feel like trauma is like the stuff that you've been through. Like, that's why I call it post-traumatic stress disorder, because it's traumatic. It's something that devastated you, or really like did something to you and messed you up in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, a lot of these kids, I feel like, are traumatized. Like, you could just tell, like, people just wake up angry, wake up mad at the world, rude. You can tell, like, the things that they grow through, that, or the things, like, the actions you see, that's what they were taught, or that's what they family thought was okay for them to see. So, What do you think you should do when you have like childhood trauma or PTSD and you want to let that hurt go? What do you feel like some alternatives are for therapy? Because therapy is very expensive.
It's different types of therapies.
Okay.
So one, journal. Whatever you write down in your journal, burn it unless you're writing down goals and stuff like that. Rage rooms. I know it's some in Wisconsin. I don't know where, but there are rage rooms available. That's for people who have a lot of anger and they need to get it out. Go to a rage room, gun range, something, just find something to escape. Me personally, I journal, I dance, I listen to music to escape, and I play like Sudoku puzzle books and stuff like that to stimulate my mind, keep me from thinking about it. Also do some childhood, like inner childhood activities. Take yourself to Chuck E. Cheese or something, something like that.
I feel that. Okay, guys, we about to take a quick commercial break. This break is actually brought to you by High Up Apparel. What comes to mind when you hear the words intrusive thoughts?
Those are like bad thoughts that invade out of nowhere. Those are the bad thoughts, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like you ever been sitting in a room and be like, that inner thought that you be like, we should just jump out the window. What if somebody's gonna run through the back door? Like, you never know. It's always the bad thoughts.
Okay, so was that one of your intrusive thoughts before?
No. Okay. It was an example.
Give me an example of your intrusive thought.
An example was like, probably around midterms or finals, and then it'd be like, did you study enough? I was like, did I? Or it's like, you forgetting something. What am I forgetting? Like, did I forget anything? And then I get to like rubbing my hands and stuff. Now I'm anxious. Ugh.
Okay, honestly, I would say I think intrusive thoughts are perfectly normal because I just feel like those are experiences that we have as a human. We have good and bad.
Right.
But as long as you don't have too many.
Right.
Then, you might have to go talk to see a lady or something. But
I got to see several of them.
But to all my people who feeling intrusive thoughts or are taking over or feeling stressed, here are some ways to get away from these intrusive thoughts. Try meditation, eating healthier, exercise, taking deep breaths more often, merge in nature, try to listen to the real world, smell flowers, touch the grass, listen to the rain, and also calming techniques to dissolve intrusive thoughts. Yoga, for sure. And listening to like different sounds that actually work.
Saxophone raises your vibrations, if you didn't know.
Saxophone?
The higher the vibration, the higher it's going to lift you up. The lower the vibration. I never
thought about that.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Music and tones and stuff like that, it plays a big part. That's why I say I like listening to music, because you're like, yeah, it's a healer.
Oh, yeah, it is, period. So speaking of music, we don't come back to that later.
Okay.
But let's talk about suicidal thoughts and suicide, period. So do you think suicide is an individual right or is it selfish?
I don't want to sound harsh, but I think it is a little selfish. But I think both.
Okay. Why?
Because, you are a person. You have a right to feel the way you want to feel. Mm-hmm. But also, suicide, I think that's the last resort. Like, it's so many different ways to avoid it. But people don't read the signs, and I think that's why people choose suicide. But selfish as far as there is somebody out there who loves you, who's listening to you, who doesn't want you to do that. And I feel like it could be avoided more if people would like sit down and listen. That's the problem. People listen, like they talk and they don't listen to. They listen to respond. And they don't listen to hear, and that's why they like somebody. I think it was a couple months ago. This girl, she was like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna kill myself. But like the tone she said it, I was like, are you okay? But before I said it, she was like, nobody's listening. And then she started laughing. I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need a hug? And then she was like, oh no, I'm just playing. Like, nah, don't play like that.
No, right.
Stuff like that.
So, for you doing occupational therapy, what are some ways you could say you would be there for a friend who is going through suicidal thoughts?
Well, first, I just like to sit down and talk to people. That's my healing problem. But I always ask, like, what is it that I can do for you? Like, how can I be of service to you? I can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on with you. So speak to me. Like, let me know what's going on. I always give off a friendly aura, and I get people to open up and talk. So I feel like that is something that would help with them.
Okay, I feel like in the Black community we joke about like mental health a lot. Like,
Yes.
you see like you'll see like a video on Instagram. It'll be like, "Come to your mom, like, Mom, I'm sad or I'm depressed," and then she like,
You better
that damn
depress them
phone.
dishes.
Yeah.
Get off that phone.
Yeah. So it's like, how do we like come to our parents on a serious tip to like discuss things like that?
Personally, I think just pull them to the side and be like, listen, all seriousness, don't take this the wrong way. You have to really give them a thorough step-by-step listen to me before you just say like, oh, I'm so depressed. Like, you got to make sure they really listening, because parents, but I feel like some parents, depending on how connected they are with their child, they will know. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll pay attention, like, are you okay? If your room messy or something like that, they'll be like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Don't push nobody away that's making sure you good either, because no, that is a bad thing to do.
So, okay, I was going to say, for mental health, like for people who go through childhood trauma and like go through things with their parents, because I feel like in a parent's eyes, they feel like they do so much for us and do the best they can. And sometimes we feel like it's not the best for us though. Mm-hmm. So how do you come to a parent, because you know how black now we know how black parents get.
I feel like black parents try to live their life through their children. The life they didn't get to live is what they expect for their child, but you got to be like, okay, this is my life. I understand you didn't get to do this and that and the third, but let me make my own decisions, but after a certain age, not like at 18. Please don't do it at 18. But yeah, I think that's what you draw the line. Like, this is my life. I'm grown now. I'm not a child anymore. I have to, I have to do this by myself. And if I need you, I'll come to you. But like, don't completely push them away. But yeah.
How do you tell a parent that something they have may did or doing for a long time has hurt you? Because that's hard.
It's a build-up.
Yeah.
I think it's a build-up. Like, even with my mom, sometimes I'll be like, see, you keep doing that, and that's going to make me, like, nah, we want to tell you nothing. That's going to make me, like, be pushed more away from you, because you constantly trying to do this, you constantly trying to do that. But you have to really, like, make sure you make them know that you're uncomfortable with stuff that they're doing, and let them understand. But do it in a respectful manner. Don't just be lashing out. Unless it's in the heat of the moment, go back and apologize. But like, at least try to respect them while you tell them something they're doing is bugging you.
Period.
Yes.
So let's talk about music and mental health.
I'm here for it.
So people say music, I feel like people try to say music don't matter, but it definitely does. Yes. Like, people say music does not partake in your mental health. But I feel like it definitely does. Like, it's definitely going to be a difference if you feeding your kid Sexy Red music at 8 a.m. versus, playing a learning song or an ABC song. No disrespect, I love Sexy Red. But, I'm grown, so I know it's a difference between it's just music and, this not who I'm trying to be type thing. But I don't think a lot of young parents understand that the things that they constantly is listening to is getting instilled in their head. And that's the lifestyle that you making it okay, because as a parent, you're supposed to be like, no. So, yeah.
Big no.
So, how you feel about music and mental health?
I think it plays a big part. Like I said, I like to listen to a lot of jazz. Well, I listen to a lot of different types of music, but I notice when you listen to something calming, that's going to set the tone of your day. When you listen to something upbeat, you're going to be hyper and super, like, jumpy throughout the day. But if you listen to, like, I don't know, Rod Wave or something, no offense, because I love Rod Wave. Don't get me wrong.
I can't get hip to him because it's too sad. Like,
see,
then he would be, I want to kill myself.
You're going to be thinking about, you're going to start reminiscing. It's going to cause you to think about what made you sad. You don't even know why you sad, but Rod Wave said, my heart been broken, now you crying. Like,
exactly.
Everybody's heart been broke before. It happens. But I think the different types of music, it shifts your atmosphere, and that's why I try to listen to some jazz. Calm me down. I'm already stressed out with, finals or whatever it is, but listen to something calm, listen to something upbeat, change your atmosphere. It plays a big part.
Because remember when I was saying, like, NPS, well, public school, not NPS specifically, but public school is, like, kind of set up for kids to fail, and, even, like, nowadays, they got rappers instead of motivational speakers coming to schools. They got, the upcoming rappers, and then they don't even be playing a clean version. Like, they be really playing cuss word for cuss word.
Oh my goodness.
At these schools. So how do you feel about, instead of, maybe like a black doctor, a black lawyer coming to a school, they got Blueface.
No, what's
coming to
crazy?
school.
We used to do career day when I was little. I don't remember the last time I went to a child's school and I seen them doing career day. They had fire trucks, garbage men, police officers, like bakers, different types of careers, but I don't think they do that anymore. And I feel like that's a problem because these children, the top 3 expectations: rapper, basketball player, football player, some type of celebrity or actress. But like, when was the last time you heard a child say, I want to be a doctor?
Yeah.
Or I want to be a lawyer? Like, you don't hear that because they don't see the different options. They see Blueface and Krishan all the time, or they see, you know, Sexy Red and all the, like, different types of artists that's famous. It's not always about fame.
Period. So, any last words you want to tell any of the audience about mental health or anything of that nature?
Take care of your mental at all costs. Protect your peace. Let the Lord fight your battles, or your higher power, whatever you believe in. Take a deep breath when you can, even if it's just for 2 seconds. Just inhale, exhale, live life at your own pace, and that's all I have to say. Namaste.
Period. And for anyone experiencing any suicidal thoughts, you can text 988 for a crisis lifeline if you're going through anything and want to talk to someone because you may not have anybody in your life to talk to. And that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you, Kiera. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining my very first episode. This was so special to me, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. And also, this very first episode will be on all streaming platforms from YouTube, Spotify to iHeartRadio, and all other streaming services. And until next time, guys, we're logging off. Peace out.